Good morning. My name is Robert Stanley. It is December 24th, and this is my week 4 assignment for FTH 202. This week, we're going to have a few parts that we got to go over. The first part is doing a baseline trigger pull. Second part we're going to be doing is finding any high spots or low spots within the internals of the revolver using a layout fluid to identify any high spots. We're going to get rid of those high spots, see if it improves the trigger pull at all in single action or double action. And then at the end, we're going to replace our hammer spring and trigger spring and hopefully get a better outcome with the new spring set. So to start off, we're going to go ahead. I got 2 trigger pulls for double action off camera that measured in at about 11 and a half pounds. So we're going to go ahead and do another double action pull. And as you can see here from the side view of the cylinder, there's no ammunition. So the weapon is safe and clear of all live ammunition. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to go get this trigger pull in double action. All right, and as you can see, my first one was about 11 and a half pounds. This is the same at 11 and a half pounds. So we're going to go ahead and record that. And then for single action, I had 2 pulls prior at 4.5 pounds. So for the third pull, we're going to see what we get for this. And it is right about 4.5 pounds. I don't know if you can see that very well. So, but we're right about 4.5 pounds. Go ahead and record that. So for my baseline, trigger pull, double action again is going to be 11 and a half pounds. And the single action is going to be 4.5 pounds. So that's it for part 1. Part 2, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pause the video, go off screen. I'm going to go ahead and disassemble the weapon. Coat some of the. I'm going to coat the surfaces with that layout fluid to find my high spots. So I'm going to go ahead, pause, disassemble, and I'll come back on when I'm ready to start coating the insides. All right, now that I got the weapon disassembled, the areas that we're going to focus on are going to be your frame here. So I'm going to go ahead and coat down the frame where I think I'm going to have my high spots, or everywhere that I could get with the fluid and with the help of a Q-tip here. Alright, so I got that coated down. I'm going to go ahead and coat the slide plate here. I'm going to go ahead and coat the hand here. And then for the last piece that I'm going to coat is going to be your cylinder stop. I'm going to lightly coat the top of it, because if anything, that's where you're going to have any low points or high points here. So go ahead. Now that that is all coated, I'm going to go ahead, pause the video again, and I'm going to reassemble the weapon. That way we could go ahead and start finding our high spots. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So Now I have a completely reassembled revolver. Pistol grip, I'm just going to go ahead and place on. I'm not going to put the pin in. For this, I'm just going to cycle the revolver multiple times. And as you can see, it is still unloaded. So I'm going to go ahead, cycle it through a couple times. And once I'm done cycling it through, I'll pause. And we'll come back and we'll look for any high spots. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and cycle this. Alright, now that the revolver has been cycled through several times, I'm going to go ahead and pause again. When I come back, I'll have the weapon tore apart again. And I'll have all those pieces out, and we're going to look to see if we can, identify any high spots. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. So after tearing down the revolver, I have a high spot here on the hand, right up here at the very top. I have a couple high spots here on the hammer, along the face here, that were, and they're very minute here, but striking the side plate, they're very minute up here. You can barely see them, but I do have some high spots. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the the polishing stone on my rotary tool, and I'm going to go ahead and address these high spots. Once I've addressed these high spots, I'll come back and we'll reassemble the weapon and see if the trigger pull's gotten any better. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. Quick overview. Here's my hammer. Here's the high spots that I had. The cylinder stop is typical right there on the top where it meets the cylinder. My slide plate is this whole area was a high spot, and then my hand after it's been polished. So everything here's been polished. I'm going to go ahead, pause the video again real quick. I'm going to reassemble the weapon, and we'll see if it helped with the trigger pull in double action and single action. Be right back. Alright, welcome back. Again, I got the revolver assembled. Again, no live ammunition. And now we're going to test the trigger pull for the new double action, single action. See if it changed. So here we go. And again, I have about 11.5. Let's try that again. And on single action, I have about 4.25. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's about 4.25. So my single action improved. Double action didn't really improve so much. So, but it did help. So the next step from here, I'm going to go ahead and tear this weapon back down. Because it did pass all its functions checks, it passed everything else. From here, I'm going to go ahead and disassemble and reassemble with the new firing spring. So I'm going to go ahead and disassemble the weapon, take the old trigger spring out, the old hammer spring out. I'm going to install the new one, and then I'm going to come back online and show you the new outcome, or the weapon with the new trigger in it, and then we're going to go ahead and get a baseline on that as well. So be right back. Alright, welcome back. So here I have my hammer spring and my trigger spring replaced, and from here it passed another functions check, a third functions check. So from here, we're going to go ahead and get the new measurement for the trigger pull. So in double action, I'm still consistent. I had 2 measurements off camera that were at 6.5 pounds. So if you see there, I got 6.5 pounds there in double action. And then for single action, it dropped it down to a 2.5 pound trigger pull. So 3 measurements consistent at 6.5 pounds and 2.5 pounds for single action and double action. So from there, I mean, the weapon, now that the new stuff has been put in, and again, here's the revolver, empty cylinder. It's definitely a lot smoother, in my opinion, with this new trigger set upgrade. Highly recommend. Always, if you don't like it, go get yourself a new spring set for your revolver. This is a first for me. When I first got it, I had my wife try and pull it back. My wife could not pull this pistol back, or pull the trigger and hammer back on this revolver. With confidence now that it's dropped. I mean, initially, if I can find my piece of paper here, for double action, like I said, it was at 11.5. And now I'm at a 6.5. Can't get my pen to work. So I'm sorry, I can't. My pen's not working. I'm trying to get everything in. But to drop 5 pounds in double action and 2 pounds in single action, I think that is a big improvement to this revolver. And this will make a great piece in anybody's collection, for anything. So, but there you go. That's it for this week, and I'll see y'all next week for our final week. Have a good one.